All right, so as we get this show started, obviously the big news for LSU football, LSU safety AJ Haulcy will miss the first half versus Clemson coming up tomorrow night. And he's not going to play in the first half because in his last game of the 2024 season, when he was playing for Houston, he was ejected from the contest. And the rules state if you are ejected for fighting, you have to, if it's in the first half, you obviously get kicked out for that game. You miss the second half of that game. If it's in the second half, you miss the first half of the next game. And this is the rule put into place. And for me, it's like, okay, this happened when?
Yeah.
In 2024, okay? It happened at the end of the season. So we're talking about in November of 2024 going to affect August of 2025. And you can say, well, the rules are the rules. Well, I can still say it's a dumb rule. I can still say, like, of all the things the NCAA doesn't care about anymore and just hand waves and turns a blind eye, like this is going to be the one, the week of the game? You're going to tell LSU the Thursday of game week in a top 10 matchup that their starting safety's not going to be in there? Like, that's where I have issue. Even if you would have made sure LSU knew about this in May, all right, June, hell, even July, okay, you're telling them about it at least. But, like, to find out now, like, that's the part, like, what are we even doing?
Well, how would LSU not have seen this coming? If it was based on something that happened that was known about, right? How would they not have known the suspension was coming if the rule is already in place? I don't understand how that it's kind of like could be a surprise. I feel like you would have known that was coming, but it is weird. It's just a strange story that punishment wouldn't have been dealt out in reaction to whatever happened during the game. Now the game, of course, that was 7 months ago.
Yeah,
which is mind-boggling. But yeah, it's extremely concerning for me going into this game. Because
I'm concerned because you've told me the entire lead up that safety was going to be the most important position for LSU.
Yeah, and it's going to be the position that I'm watching the most, and this is certainly a concern for me when the guy that's going to be playing a lot of safety for you and is a huge impact and was a all Big 12 player a year ago. It's a guy that I think that had a chance to be pretty impactful. So we got to rotate in. You got to put some guys in. But like Taylor has told us, all through training camp, there has been a lot of rotation in the secondary during training camp. So a lot of guys have got a lot of reps, a lot of playing time. And so, you got to go in there and play without him for one half. You got to keep Cade Klubnik in the pocket. You got to keep him from running, trying to got to keep him in that first half from making too many explosive plays. Like I said, he's going to make his plays, but for Haulcy to get suspended, it's just a weird story to me. I just don't understand how something can happen.
I'm with you that part.
Season, nobody know about it. The NCAA sit on their hands for so long and then deal out the suspension.
Yeah, so the quote from Brian Kelly before he found out that this was going to, in fact, come across, we're waiting on clarification on that. This was Thursday before he found out. We were informed on his situation on Wednesday, so we'll see where that ends up. We're practicing him, preparing him to play. We'll wait for further guidance. And again, he's going to play in the game. It's just going to be in the second half.
Right.
But I am with you as far as, okay, well, if this was the rule put into place, if you get thrown out for fighting, you got to miss a half. Like, where was the miscommunication? And obviously it stays with you no matter if you change schools like AJ Haulcy did from Houston to LSU.
Yeah, that's the part that to me is confusing and strange. It's like
maybe they thought, even though Houston didn't play in a bowl game, maybe they thought like that space was going to be
right
where it would take effect, even though you didn't play in a bowl game. That's still not going to happen.
And you would think if there's no communication unless the kid and they didn't tell LSU that there was this if it wasn't this big thing, this big public thing that was on ESPN about this fight because it wasn't in a bowl game.
Yeah.
Maybe at that point, as NCAA just like, hey, just tells the kid maybe they told the University of Houston and they didn't tell the kid. So I don't know. It's just a strange situation and unfortunate that it happens right now. And of course, I'm going to blame the NCAA on this one. That was dumb to wait this long. What are we doing?
Well, they were worried about the Michigan situation that they came down so hard on Michigan for.
Yeah, that's true. They had bigger things, bigger fish to fry.
A lot of people are, letting Clemson know snitches get stitches as well. Apparently, this was Clemson that made the NCAA aware. That's your guy, Dabo.
That's my guy?
Yeah.
I'm the guy that said he was going to get injured running down the hill.
That's still your guy.
That's my guy. Okay, yeah. Yep, absolutely.
So now it's okay. Well, how do you replace AJ Haulcy? Because you're not going to get the same level of play. That's the obvious statement. There's a reason why he was a starter. There's a reason why you got him from Houston. There was a reason why he was an all-conference player. Is it going to be Jordan Gilbert, Javen Toviano? Is it going to be Deshaun Spears? Is it going to be a combination of all three of those players? Mm-hmm. Like, that's going to be like you have another transfer into Marcus Cooley, obviously, and he had a similar situation, but he's going to be good to go, and it is going to.
So we got a couple guys transferring that got a little fight in them, huh?
Yeah.
Literally. Little dog in them. I like it.
So you have a very veteran player in Jordan Gilbert. Now, he is healthy. Last year, he was not healthy the entire way. You have experience. So I'll throw that back to you, all right? He's a player that's been – last year, he was a full-time starter. LSU wanted to upgrade at the position. That's no secret. But he does have starting experience at multiple SEC schools. I do find that to be a better situation than if you were trying to play a freshman, a redshirt freshman that had never been in the thick of it. I mean, Jordan Gilbert at least, he played at A&M. He's played at LSU. The venue and the moment at least won't be too big for him.
Yeah, I think that is a big deal. I mean, if something happens to a starter and you can ever insert experience there, that's a premium for any team, especially in this game when we've talked about safety being so important. So to be able to rely on him, but I would expect that it's going to be a rotation of guys. I mean, there's been so many guys rotating in during training camp. I would expect you'd see multiple guys just rotating in and out in that first half.
Yeah.
And look, it's one half. It's 2 quarters. I know a lot can happen, but first game of the season, there's going to be a lot of energy out there. I would expect that. A big rotation. But to have Gilbert and that experience is for this type of short period of time, for a first and a second quarter, I believe is a big asset for us. I mean, you never want to have a guy that you're relying on being a starter and have had him in the starting rotation for so long. At the last minute, have the rug pulled from under you. But to be able to just say, all right, hey, experience, go in there. The moment's not too big for him. We know he's played in big-time stadiums. We know the lights aren't going to be too bright. So it's good. And obviously they wanted to upgrade from a talent level. That's fine. But, experience to me in that situation, especially for a short amount of time in the game, is definitely the way you go.
And I know that Gilbert's been working at your favorite position, star.
Yep.
Kind of been rotating in there. But
you think they'll create a new position now?
No, because Alabama took all the names of all the positions with Wolf and the other ones that they had.
Yep.
But this is somebody you can very easily slot back to safety. And, again, it might not be him. I'm trying to think of, okay, here's the situation, all right? You're going into a hostile environment. You've got somebody that has been through the fire before. You also have to worry about, at least I do, about sudden change. We talk about it on the field all the time. It happens off the field as well, right? You find out on Thursday that your starting safety not going to be available in the first half, all right? Which player do you think can handle that the best? When you call him into your office, is it a redshirt freshman? Is it a senior who's been through it? Right?
Yeah,
that situation to me, if I'm a senior and you're like, hey, bud, AJ, he's out for the first half, you're in. I'm like, all right, cool, let's go.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm a freshman and they tell me that, I got the night sweats a little bit.
Got the night sweats, got those butterflies. You start panicking a little bit. You start thinking about the game plan. But, you just said that again. And, the more you say it to me and the more you say it out loud, the more it sinks in, how the Thursday before the opening game of the season, you find out one of your starters is suspended for something that happened last November.
Yeah.
The more you say it, the more ridiculous this sounds to me. And the more it's like kind of making me mad. Like, this is complete. Somebody dropped the ball somewhere. Either Houston held the information, the kid held the information, or the NCAA just did not make a decision or a ruling or didn't even think about it.
Until they got made aware of it this week. Yeah, and
the more you say it, the more like ridiculous the story is.
And it's gonna look. There was people on my mentions, Clemson fans, all last night. I didn't even tweet about it, and they're still already tagging me like, rules are rules. Okay, all right, nerd. I'm not. This isn't even arguing rules are rules. I just think it's dumb. If it was a Clemson player, I'd want the Clemson player to be able to be available if something happened in November that was like on the field. Because in the heat of, a football game, heaven forbid we got into a little fisticuffs is what you like to call it, right?
Yeah, fisticuffs.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, you see?
Of all the things, like, you go into an NCAA parking lot now and, it looks like you're going to a car show. Because there's so many incredible vehicles in there. And, like, we're worried about this. And this is what's going to keep you off the field.
Rules are rules. Cool. You ever rolled through a stop sign, bud? You ever gone 46 and a 45? Come on. Don't be a hypocrite.
So, yeah, look, for LSU fans.
It happened last November.
Yes. For LSU fans, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is going to be a good thing for LSU. Safety is the most important position in this game. And your best safety potentially is out for 30 minutes of the game. I will say this. I will say that the Gilbert portion of it, you are very fortunate to have somebody like that ready to go. Look, he's had some good times, had some bad times in LSU uniform. I will say he was playing injured most all of last year. Let's hope that there's a better version that we're going to get in the first half against Clemson. You could be in a situation where you have somebody never been, redshirted maybe last year, never really been in a game like this on the road. So for a really bad situation, you at least have something that I think can help ease some of the nervousness and the stress if you didn't have a veteran player ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, it eases the tension, but, I mean, it's not a great situation to have a guy like that out at such a key position to me, in my opinion, for this game plan. So, I mean, we're not going to sugarcoat it. It's not great for the first half, but look, it's one half. You got a guy with experience jumping in there, and, he's going to come in. Haulcy's going to come in the second half with fresh legs.